Hello aspirants and welcome again to Legacy IAS Academy. In this lecture we will be discussing whether if SARC or SARC like organization is actually possible without India or not. Now why are we going to discuss this? Because with respect to the present situation, SARC is as good as dormant, but what is happening right now is the representatives of the countries, that is Pakistan, Bangladesh and China, can be seen to coming forward in order to establish a new regional bloc which could be seen as an alternate to the erstwhile, to the present. In fact, it's still legally established though it's dormant. So they want to come up with a regional bloc which would be sort of a substitute for the SARC. So these are the three countries that are coming in to do so, later on having plans to include other nations as well, including Sri Lanka, Bhutan and Nepal. So these people are coming together to form a substitute without India being involved. Raises a lot of questions. One such question is, can this organization even function without India's presence? And if it can, what issues will India face because of it? So let's get started with respect to this news. So the news is all about China, Pakistan and Bangladesh. Now what they are doing is they are coming together to explore a SARC alternative, means explore a regional bloc which will be an alternative to SARC, that is South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. So why are we coming up with this news? What has happened? So what has happened is recently there was a meeting that took place in China. So in China there was a meeting that took place. So officials from Pakistan, from China, from Bangladesh came together in a meeting, and it is anticipated that in the future there will be involvement of, at least for now, Sri Lanka, Maldives as well as Afghanistan. But these three countries so far have come together. Now what was the agenda that was discussed? So agenda was with respect to a new regional bloc, a new regional organization. And with respect to that, what will be the agenda of this new regional organization? That was also listed down. Number one is the connectivity. Now remember, China and Pakistan are already involved with the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, which actually passes through the Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. And of course, India is not a part of that because of this reason of it passing through the Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. Now, here also they are talking about connectivity related things. So how to connect the South Asian countries? Again, maybe CPAC again would be talked about, new projects would then be talked about. So that is a cause of concern. Next is the economic cooperation. Now here economic cooperation means of course the trade, the export and import. So coming up with multilateral agreements to further the trade among these countries, and strategic collaboration. Now strategic is a very important term. See, already the transportation or connectivity and economy is taken care of. So what do you mean by strategic? The strategic would be with respect to the geopolitical issues. It will be with respect to the probably the navies, the military, etc. So that is what strategic word holds the importance for. So it will not, with respect to this, yes, it looks like an economic organization, but here a military angle is also being explored if this is also on the agenda of these three countries. So what is the key characteristic of this new proposed bloc? See, what news is coming out of it with respect to what has been said in the meeting, it looks like it is not going to be just a political alliance. So not a political alliance as such. Political alliance as in the governmental involvement and polity as in you are taking a stand on various issues, political issues that is going on. So away from those political kind of agendas and motives, and maybe trying to incline towards economic agenda, but still remember strategic agenda was also present. It aims to revive regional integration. It aims to revive the regional integration of the South Asian countries by bypassing the South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. So what are SAARC countries? You have Afghanistan, Bhutan, Maldives, Pakistan, Bangladesh, India, Nepal, Sri Lanka. Now these are the SAARC nations that are present. Right, now you basically bypass a lot of countries. Later on, of course, there is basically anticipation that Maldives, Sri Lanka, etc. would also be involved. Maybe in the future India is also involved, but we are very less likely to basically attend that or be a part of it. Because see, anyway, if everyone is invited, everyone becomes a part, it again becomes SAARC. So again there is going to be conflict of interest again. Right, so we see what in conflict of interest is there and why SAARC is dormant, as a result of which there is a need for this. Now, this new regional bloc that is being talked about, it may be aligned with China's Belt and Road Initiative, the BRI of China, as a result of which in the future, even if India is invited, we are not likely to join that. Now, this could of course mirror the CPEC, that is China-Pakistan Economic Corridor with regional extensions. So what is this? This new bloc which consists of China, Pakistan and Bangladesh is also involved. So CPEC between them is there. Now you are extending and bringing in other countries also. So as a result of which regional extensions and regional connectivity will be enhanced in this case. Now the issue with the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor is that it passes from the Pakistan-occupied Kashmir region, and that has always been the concern, of course. Moving ahead, what is India's position in this? India, as of now, as we all know, that India is not a part of this initiative. However, as I said, certain reports claim that India may be invited in this initiative as well. However, we are highly likely to reject. We are very less likely to join. We are absolutely highly unlikely to join. What is the reason for that? The divergent interests, the different interests. Not just that, it is also about the sovereignty and integrity of India. There will be projects, there will be talks about CPEC, etc. and we cannot be party to such kind of issues, such kind of things which are a direct in contradiction with India's sovereignty. I hope that's clear. Now it indicates this particular thing that has happened, that three countries representatives have come together. India was not involved, being such a big player in South Asia, talks about sort of diplomatic isolation, India's diplomatic isolation that has taken place, for which India needs to take certain steps to address that. Now the question is, why is SAARC dormant? See, SAARC is as good as dormant since 2016, wherein the summit was cancelled. Why was it cancelled? Because of the Uri terrorist attack that had taken place. So, you know, terrorism and talks, they cannot go hand in hand. We have been consistent with that. India has been consistent with that. Now at one side you are seeing terrorist attack taking place. So state or non-state, state-sponsored, non-state terrorist attacks are happening. Pakistan is basically supporting, facilitating, getting involved in those terrorist attacks which are taking place on India on one side. So we cannot be participating in discussion, dialogue or meetings on the other side. As a result of which the summit was cancelled. In fact, the boycott by India also led to extended boycott from Bangladesh, Bhutan and Afghanistan. But here you see Bangladesh is now getting involved with China and Pakistan. It's not that previously they were not, but here it looks like they are in support with India. Yes, because at that time the government was that of Sheikh Hasina, and now Sheikh Hasina has been ousted from her post and there is an interim government which is of course not a well-wisher, let alone well-wisher. They are not even neutral. They are rather against India and what India stands for. So the situation is quite different right now. Also, various India-led initiatives in SAARC, India used to also provide a lot of technologies to SAARC, lot of satellite data, etc. for the betterment of SAARC. and for that India had also started certain development fund, South Asian University in Delhi, SAARC Motor Vehicle Agreement 2024, which was again blocked by Pakistan. So we were trying to do good, but there was blockage by Pakistan, etc., as a result of which things were left in dormant nature. Now, what is India's response to this particular thing? Because of this particular thing, there would be shift to sub-regional groupings. India can also in itself focus on BBIN, that is Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Nepal Partnership, the Motor Vehicle Act, etc., as well as BIMSTEC, that is Bay of Bengal region area, can be focused with respect to the Southeast Asian countries focus also, and focus on Act East policy, Indo-Pacific partnership, etc. So India needs to start focusing on these regions and have more bilateral and trilateral formats over the multilateral formats like SAARC. Because of multilateral nature, many countries being involved, there will be conflicts and there will be delays, hiccups, etc. So India can focus on bilateral and trilateral treaties. The strategic implication of this particular thing that is happening is the risk of China dominating. Since China is involved, it will dominate the South Asian geopolitics. The BRI driven bloc, if it becomes a BRI driven bloc, India would then need to take certain assertive action individually and also at international forums with respect to the BRI initiative, which is completely in conflict with India's sovereignty. Of course, it calls for India to rejuvenate regional diplomacy. We do want to become one of the world's superpower. India believes in multipolar world and we want to be one of the superpowers. We are looking at a bigger picture and integrating more with the entire world, but we need to also focus on the regional diplomacy as well. In search for diplomacy with Western world and other countries, our regional focus should be still intact. So it's time to focus on regional diplomacy as well. Thank you.